Okay, so I am here in the shop today and want to introduce you guys to something I have created that's taken a little bit of time, but I'm pretty proud of it. So this is my new Ergo pen. It's 3D printed. Spending a lot of time on 3D printing because I think it's very useful for doing things like this, which is very time consuming, very expensive to do in wood or other material. So what I want to show you is this. It is an ergonomic pen that is triangular, works its way into a round surface, but also the triangular is kind of twisted in a sense. And what that does is if you put your hand out and lay a pin in it, that's going to be the first part of your grip. Well, the first thing you'll notice with this is it lays right in my hand. There, turn the light on. So right in between those two fingers. All right. So to begin with, it lays there. If you want, it forces your hand into a couple different grips, and it allows several. So the first is the traditional grip, which would be like this. Roll your hand over. This is how you're writing. Okay? So what it does is, because this end section is triangular, the pen will not rotate much. You can feel it resting against this finger, your middle finger. Your index finger controls downward pressure, and then your thumb controls the staff in your hand up here in a relaxed position, which allows whole arm movement writing. But say you don't like whole arm movement writing, which most people don't do it. It does allow for a couple different grips. So if you have a tripod grip, look at that. Pin goes exactly how it should be, at the angle it should be for writing. If you prefer, lots of people have their finger against the nib flange. Thumb can go up against it. Back here it's like a modified tripod grip. Allows that grip as well. And you get full control of your pen no matter how you hold it. Look, I'm trying to rotate is what I'm doing, and you see there's very little rotation, even in this grip, which doesn't have any downward, anything keeping the flange from moving down, but what does is the middle finger with that triangular section. Now doing straight triangle into round does not work, is not comfortable for your hand for most people, because there's your hand isn't exactly triangular. So that's why I took and digitally rotated this to be, you can see it sort of, I think. So the center line goes down and then it goes over like that. But I think this is really cool. I did a little bit of a tambling thing here on the pen with branding in it. It looks very different. It is very different. I don't think there's been anything quite like it. There's been I've seen, I forget, there was someone that did a round a triangle, but it wasn't the same as this. It was very different shape. My inspiration for this came from Ransomarian and then Skeels as well, because of the flat surface of the Skeels here. But I didn't want to put a flat surface there, so because it would allow for many other things. But I think this is really cool. And when you're looking at like $10 is what this is going to be selling for. I sell most of my 3D printed pens for like $10.99, unless it's something that is extra, like the Deuce Carat, which requires extra work. But I think this is very cool, and I'm going to start a batch of them soon, and I hope you guys will give it a try. It's got removable flange just like before. So my Deuce uses all my 3D printed pens, and my Deuce uses the same flange. So it's put the nib in, slide the flange back in, there it is. Does allow for it to be adjusted up and down and canted differently if you need it, so there is room for that. But works really cool. It's really comfortable too. So there you go, the new Ergo pin. I'm going to probably come up with a name for it too, but this is the first done actually product right there. Thanks.